What's your favorite kind of cheese? Impossible question.
That's
all of it.
An insane,
actually.
Well, I have some that I could put at the lower end, but there's some at the top. I would have a very difficult time choosing.
It's the sheep's and goat's milk marinated. That is the best cheese of all time.
But I could not.
Nope.
I could not.
Nope. There's no
not
question.
Have
it's not an opinion
again.
Answer.
Blue.
Yeah.
I would be depressed if I couldn't have brie again.
That's a bummer. Hey, welcome back to our Stupid Rex of Corbin.
I love cheese.
You can follow us on Instagram.
We know.
I told him that.
He's the one who told.
Twitter for more cheese content.
I couldn't tell Ashley, but she did find out.
Yeah, she did. She texted us.
Yeah.
Today, we have a
cheese fondue special.
Rekha interview. And this is called, read this for me, please.
Rendezvous with Simi, Garewal, Rekha, part 1. How old is this interview? I'm so excited.
90.
Yes,
yeah,
my
sure,
heart.
why not? So basically,
No, cut my honey. No, you were so excited and you were so happy. Please, you won't be able to see. Come on, honey. Come on, come right up here. I'll move the table.
Here we go.
To transition into a threesome. Say what?
Nope.
What happened?
Tonight, my guest is a one-of-a-kind woman.
How was it? What'd you think of it?
Incredible, so short.
Yeah.
Kind woman, on screen and off. Like Garbo, she's remained elusive, enigmatic,
Gabu?
almost mythical. Tonight, she breaks her silence. She speaks of her life and her loves. The ultimate diva, Rekha.
Ultimate diva? Words change meaning, I guess.
Rekha.
Hello, Simi.
It's just not a celebration, it's a double celebration to have you here for my 100th episode.
Thank you.
Do you remember when we last sat like this?
Why are they both
No, I was just having
so
a
regal?
deja vu moment right now, and I'm like, haven't we done this before?
When?
Well, about a couple of decades ago.
Yeah. 1984.
She quizzing
No
her?
way.
It's a woman's world.
Wow.
But how come you haven't given any TV interviews since?
I guess I was waiting for this moment.
20 years?
It seems not so long ago, actually. You look the same, but then you've heard that before.
Well,
Those eyes,
need I
man.
tell you what you look?
Piercing.
Say. I need to hear it.
You don't need to hear it, just need to look in the mirror. But you remember that day I asked you, how do you see yourself 20 years later?
Mm-hmm. I remember that very vividly.
And it's now exactly 20 years.
Wow.
Do you want a 20-year rewind?
I would love that.
Yeah? Okay.
Tell me, how do you see yourself 20 years from now?
How do I see myself?
Fat. But I could never say what's going to, what's in my destiny. Like every human being, I do have my desires, my dreams. You want to know them? You want to know them?
Desires and dreams change, don't they?
No.
The same desires,
Absolutely.
same dreams.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You know, you've lived many lives in this one life. There are many Rekhas. Today, when you look at yourself...
She doesn't agree.
Can you see anything of little Bhanu Rekha?
Yeah. I am. I will be always Bhanu Rekha.
What's that? That's her full name.
I don't think people change. I don't think nature's changed. At least I haven't. Whatever she was innately as a human being, she's still very much there. Very shy. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. Very loving. A loner, which very much I am, even now.
And what sort of a childhood did she have?
She had a wonderful childhood. Whatever little that was, because I grew up very fast.
Your father is German Canadian, and your mother is Pushpavali, the actress. Did they have a difficult relationship?
Well, it was a romantic relationship, so I guess anything filled with romance is not easy. But having said that, I think romance is beautiful, and it can, no matter how difficult it seems, I think it's wonderful. It's worth it.
But he moved out of your lives when you were very young.
I was a baby. I don't really remember that.
Do you remember a time when he was at home?
No.
That's why I wondered, was it a difficult relationship?
No, that my mother would be able to answer it, because as far as we're concerned, we never were given the impression that it is, anything was out of the ordinary or dysfunctional, or, that, oh, it's difficult, and she was never in that mode of crying and, going, okay, my husband left me, or anything of that sort. She was just so bubbly and happy.
She never showed you her what you
No, she was in fact full of lovely stories about him, about romance and her first kiss and just how madly she was in love with him, as if she had just met him,
Really?
So for me, it was just this fabulous lover of my mother, or it was a lover on screen.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was totally fascinated watching him on screen with Savitri Amma. And I was like, wow, this is the ultimate idea of romance.
Your father then married Savitri, or he didn't marry Savitri?
They were all married.
They were not married?
They were all married.
They were all married,
Yes.
sorry.
South mein ye chalta hai.
No, okay, so...
We have 3 mothers, you know that.
Okay, all right.
Badi maa, choti maa, and our mom.
Did your mother take that badly?
If she did, she never mentioned it to us, because I think she was just so dizzy and drunk with love for my father. That's what I saw, at least. Never saw her cry. Just amazing. And even my choti maa, she was the one who sort of took care of her and groomed her, and
Your mother?
yeah, they were very, very close.
How strange.
Savitri maa, Savitri Amma. That's what we called her, always. Babji maa. So as far as I'm concerned, it was, these were all my mothers. I never really got to meet them, so it was okay, because I never got to meet my father.
Did you understand, when did you understand the setup?
I think it was more in school, because in school, all the children, there are a dozen of them, in case you don't know, and all the children were in the same school, so...
So all their children were also in the same
So
school?
maybe a couple of times I saw him coming and dropping the other kids, so that's the first impression. I was like, oh, Appa, this is Appa.
And you knew he was your papa?
Oh, yeah.
You'd seen his films?
Yeah. But I do remember him as a baby.
So, did you go up to him when he'd come to school?
No,
Why?
because he used to just drop them and I didn't have a chance.
Ever have a chance?
No, never.
Or was it that it wasn't your mother's wish or your father's
no,
wish?
I never had a chance.
He didn't stop to come and talk to you?
No, I didn't think he noticed me.
He must have known you're there.
I don't think he saw me.
Would he have recognized you if he'd seen you?
Sure. I think I'm a chap like him. I think I look like him.
So then?
But he never did. No.
Did that bother you?
Maybe I blanked it out. Maybe. Who knows? I don't think at that age it really makes a difference, because I had so many, tracks in my mind. I was more worried about my homework, or, why is my sister so pretty and why am I not so pretty? And why is she Gori and why am I so Kali? And, that even looking at my dad, and, just that thing was enough for me.
You were living in the same city as your father?
All of us living in the same state.
And still you didn't come across each other?
Never.
That's strange, now. He didn't make the effort.
I don't know, Simi. I don't know what happens, and really what happens between two people. It's between, the couple. Unke andar kya hota hai, what differences they have, and who are we to really say anything? They are the mature people, they made the decision.
You just accept? Did you miss him?
Now looking back, maybe I did. But if you don't taste something, you don't know what it means. I didn't know what the word father meant. When you think of father, when you mention father, it's a padri in the church. That's all I know of a father. A father's love must be very different from a mother's love. One always wonders. One has seen it in the movies. One has, watched other people. But I really have no idea. And like I've said this to you before. If you haven't tasted it, you wouldn't really know the difference.
You were raised by your mother.
My mother, yes, my mother too, but I spent most of my time with my grandmother and my aunt. So we hardly saw much of her because she was shooting all the time.
So then growing up, who was the male influence in your early years?
I think if God can be called a man, I guess it was God.
Only God.
God is a woman.
Only God.
It is not.
You had brothers.
I had brothers, but again, my elder brother and my younger brother were more like babies. They were like children. Even my elder brother was not really a role model. He was again somebody who looked up to me, who used to really depend on me. You know, I think he still does.
But it's strange, isn't it, that even as a kid, you took on the responsibility of the family?
I think that was more financially, and I didn't realize it was emotional at that point. It was just financially I had to, take on the responsibilities because I had to become an actress.
Voluntarily?
No, not at all. Things were difficult in the house, and of course, there was short of money, of course, because 6 children and their education and everything, and so my mother said, "You have to do it. That's it." And I said, "Okay, Mom, I'll do this one film, Anjana Safar, because I always love to travel abroad." And she said, "You want to be an air hostess because you want to travel, right? And if you do this film, you get to go to South Africa." And you get to, and you love animals, so you get to see all the beautiful animals, and there you go. So she really, ullu banawad me, and I fell for it.
So at the age of 13, you dropped out of school.
9th standard.
But did Bhanu Rekha want to be an actress?
No, never.
I mean, what were her desires and dreams?
Wow. At that point, all I wanted was to be married, and to be loved. And to spend the rest of my life with somebody who truly, truly, truly cared for me and have children, lots and lots and lots of children. I wonder why I felt like that then. But that's what she wanted. That were her dreams.
Commercial break.
It's very Oprah style.
Very.
In the
Do you want more
90s.
of this, sweetie?
Are we just? How long is this?
All right, there we go. That's a long break without the commercial in it.
So what kind of an impact did Bollywood have on a 13-year-old schoolgirl?
Oh, I was completely lost. To begin with, I was away from my home. Didn't know the language. Didn't know a single soul. And what's worse, my mom wasn't with me.
She wasn't with you?
No, she was critically ill. She fell ill. She couldn't come.
So you were mostly alone?
And no, my mom sent my aunt.
Okay.
Not my mom's real sister, but another aunt. I was hating every moment of it. I didn't like it at all. I was scared. I was missing my mom like hell. But acting was no problem, It was like, I was doing a bad job anyways.
No. No, but you see, at 13, you're just a kid. Just a kid. An adolescent. And here you're thrown into a grown-up world.
She looks like
was
Saif's
that?
mom.
I had
Whatever
no
her name
clue.
is.
Didn't know the language. And everybody was mostly speaking in either Punjabi or Hindi. Hindi was bad enough, so Punjabi to bhul jaiye. So I didn't understand the certain Punjabi, terms. Like, I didn't understand it, but now I know what it meant,
Like?
Like, badi kutti cheez hai, like pataki and stuff like that,
And you didn't know what they're saying?
Nope.
Better.
I had no idea. So I didn't really feel bad, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, bye.
Who guided you?
I think the first positive guide and positive warm vibrations, if I ever had from anybody, was Mon Cycle. When I look back, I think he was the first father figure. He always treated me, pampered me too much.
But being fairly alone in Bombay without your mother, you could have easily lost your way. Do you feel at times you did?
No time to lose weight because I was shooting from 9 in the morning till 10 in the night. So there wasn't any disciplined timing. We worked around the clock.
And your meals?
I was deprived because I was supposed to be on a diet, perpetual diet.
Why did you never think of telling your mom, look, I can't take this. It's terrible. Take me back.
I was never a kind of person who voiced my impressions or my feelings. I never told anybody what I feel. I still don't.
You used to run away from the sets a lot.
Yeah.
Why?
That is history. Because, well, if a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old wanted to, felt like having a chocolate or an ice cream and has been deprived for it for months and months and months together, and somewhere you snap, I should not run away and say, okay, abhi aati hu, and lose track of time.
Everybody must have been furious.
Furious, yes, but I enjoyed it.
Felt suicidal at times in those days.
If it may be called that, I think I was pretty much of a drama buzz.
Okay.
Everything was for effect at that point.
Okay.
Anything to get away. I didn't want to work. I was very lazy. I didn't want to be, in the studios locked up all the time. So, and anything to get attention, I guess, that point, mother's attention.
And often you said that you used to think of jumping off the terrace.
I do have this amazing need to fly.
Oh.
And mind you, when I say that I want to jump off a cliff or jump off, it's only because I just love to fly. I don't know what that, it sounds weird, but that's the reason. But otherwise, I didn't want to jump off a building to be suicidal or anything.
I feel in a way in those days you saw the dark side of Bollywood.
Is that the dark side? Oh, I wish that dark side for every heroine. They weren't difficult at all for me. And if you say that that was the dark side, if it was, I wasn't aware of it.
Can I just read out some of the stuff?
Okay, sure, go ahead.
Bombay was like a jungle, and I walked in unarmed. It was one of the most frightening phases of my life. I was so scared that I used to make my ayah sleep in my room. I was totally ignorant of the ways of this new world. Guys did try and take advantage of my vulnerability. I did feel, what am I doing? I should be in school, having an ice cream, fun with my friends. Why am I being forced to work, deprived of normal things that a child should be doing at my age? Every single day I cried because I had to eat what I didn't like, wear crazy clothes with sequins and stuff poking into my body.
A lot of young
Costume
kids in any
jewelry
entertainment
gave me
industry back in the day.
Absolute terrible allergy. Hairspray.
That's why we have
would go
different
off
rules
for
now.
days, even despite all my washing. I was pushed, literally
Yeah.
dragged from one studio to another. Terrible thing to do to a 13-year-old child. These are all things that you've said.
I don't know, Simi. If it was, then maybe 35 years is a long time, Simi, for me to heal. I have been, healing for so many years कि मुझे इतना बुरा नहीं लग रहा है उस वक्त जो हुआ था. I don't feel the pinch, or the sting. It's gone. I'm healed now.
I bet writing helped
I
that
am
process.
not bitter anymore. I don't think I ever was. Ignorance was bliss at that point. I had no idea. Looking back, technically, yes, I was so-called taken advantage of. I was not respected as a human being, meaning, you're calling a little girl of 13, in Punjabi, which is a language which she doesn't understand. She, of course, it's not nice. But if she didn't know the language, how would she respond? But today, looking back, I don't feel the pinch at all. And I'm really, really grateful. Everything that happened to me in my life, I'm so grateful it happened to me. Because if it didn't happen in that sequence, if that screenplay wasn't written the way it was written then, I wouldn't be the person I am today.
Why didn't you let your sister join films?
It is just, I was protective. I didn't find the need for them, to work because I was bringing the bread home. And I wanted them to have, which I didn't have. I didn't have the education. I wanted to give them the best of education, meaning my mom. And if I could work and be of some use, so be it. I mean, I knew there was, it was difficult at home.
Anyway, as luck would have it, your first film, Savan Padam, was a smash hit. Producers lined your doorstep now. Were you happy about it, or did you in a way feel trapped?
I was happy, I must confess, because I got all the importance, I got the attention. And my sisters were very happy too. And my brother was very happy too. You know, my mom was giving me all, doting much more on me, and we could buy the cars and the house and everything. And what's more, my school friends were really envious, you know, because they knew I was Gemini Ganeshan and Pushpavali's, you know, child. And when I told them that, you know, maybe I will, who knows, I will be a star tomorrow, then they said, Acha, apni shakal dekhi aine bhi.
Oh, come on.
I swear. And they didn't know what to do because they said, Bhanu's made it here after all.
Why do they leave those little blanks?
I'm first a woman, and then my career comes. But I can't forget the fact that I'm a woman first.
I can't forget the fact that I'm a woman first. The career came relatively easy. But the woman was a bit harder, wasn't it?
When does one register that one is a woman? I wonder. Does she become a woman when she becomes responsible? Does she become a woman when she falls in love? Does she become a woman from a girl to a woman when she goes through pain? When is it difficult for her?
I find that when you've grown up without a father figure, it's a bit like traveling without a map, because you don't know what to expect in men.
I still don't. Up until very recently, I was very shy to open my mouth when there are men, you know, around.
Yeah, especially when the majority of them are
I've
drooling.
become a woman of the world now. I know for a fact that I'm old enough that people are not going to, you know, make passes at me anymore.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I trust me. Nobody's made a pass at me for
For?
a very long time.
I highly doubt
They're too
that.
scared, probably.
That doesn't
They'll
matter.
be rebuffed. That's it.
Maybe.
Girls who have had father figures know how to deal with men.
Yes, maybe.
I don't know if that's a
That's not
point
necessarily
blank
true.
statement.
No,
She's
not
had
at
a
all.
very secure childhood, and she's dotes on her father. So I just marvel at the way she's been able to, you know, pick up a conversation, or, you know, the way she can be so comfortable, you know, in the company of men. And I used to really admire that. And she's like, कोई फर्क ही नहीं है, आप आदमी है या औरत है, कुछ फर्क. And I was very self-conscious in the company of men, you know.
So just 3 years later, I think you were about 18, you married Vinod Mehra.
Excuse me.
When you were in 1973.
Excuse me.
Your marriage was there?
No.
You didn't marry him?
No.
For 2 months?
Like I was married to Farooq Abdullah
No,
and Sanjay
no,
Bhatt.
but you didn't live with him at all.
No. Anybody can say anything. You're asking me?
Yes,
I'm telling
asking you.
But I don't want to. It's not important.
Anyway, it's your...
No, he was always a well-wisher. He was always very close to me. He was very, very close to me.
Okay. At that time, there were a lot of stories about relationships. True or false. But were you drifting or were you searching?
I was not drifting at all.
So what were you looking for from those relationships?
Nothing. But genuinity, I guess.
But was it just for the spur of the moment fun?
No, no.
Then what?
It was never a spur of the moment fun. Never. It was always genuine from my side, at least. I don't think you get into a relationship to look for anything, because I didn't have an idea. I don't know what a man is all about, what he's supposed to mean. Is he supposed to be a provider? Is he supposed to be a lover? Yes, I knew the lover part. I knew that by heart. I knew that my man had to be a lover. He had to love me to death, because I didn't know any better.
No, but it's
That was-
fine. Doesn't
that was
matter.
all. That was all. It's true that that's all that really matters. Don't you think that's all that really matters? If at all you want a prop to be able to bestow and shower and, you know, give everything that you have, and you don't want to receive anything, you just want somebody to give. That somebody, special somebody. That's what I said.
And so your search continued.
I didn't realize the value of being an actor. I can go on. By the way, is this a show about me or Mr. Bachchan?
Good for
In a way, it
her.
was arranged marriage. It wasn't love, that's for sure. Oh my God!
Well, I want to see that.
All, yeah.
So it's a double parter. Oh yeah, I guess it doesn't say
Triple.
triple parter.
I think so.
Jeez. Well, she's a lovely part
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Or maybe that's the last. I think so.
It's very 90s Oprah style.
Yeah.
My mother used to love this show, and I used to watch this with my mom.
Did you watch this one live when it came out back in the day?
I don't know if it was live, but I definitely watched it.
Yeah.
I watched this show.
She's a very interesting person.
Who,
She's-
Simi or
No,
Rekha.
Rekha.
She's pretty much exactly the way I would expect her to be based on what I've heard about her.
What is this? What is this movie? Sorry. This random thing with a girl in a wet t-shirt with a Raj Kapoor. Sorry. Distracted. Well, I wasn't expecting to see breasts on YouTube. Anyways. Yes, Rekha.
Isn't she just an enigma?
Yes.
And just so mysterious, but yet so vulnerable. And
A lot of interesting stuff. I just never knew her father. The fact that's super strange. The fact that he was there, never said hi. Like that's super sad, for one.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I also because like my parents divorced when I was 3, so I've never known my actual parents together. I always knew I would always talk to my dad. Every summer I would go visit my dad, but that was just normal to not have my dad around. And then my stepdad came in. He also became a dad to me. And so it's different, but I get the fact that she was like, I never knew didn't know what I was missing.
Right.
That's all I knew.
Right.
Like it'd be weird if I ever saw my actual parents together. That'd be weird to me because I've never known them to get. You don't have any recollection usually before you're
Right.
3 for when you're older.
Right.
But it's super because she's had a lot to reflect on in her life.
Yeah.
It seems like she's healed. Oh, this was probably 20 years ago though, right? Mm-hmm. And she's 60 something now.
now she's more than 60.
You think? No, she's like 65. How old is Rekha?
I think she's 70.
I
love
know
it-
I don't
I
have
love
her
it when it does that.
contacts. You don't have
Frickin'
Rekha's
Siri.
phone in your contact.
Stupid Siri.
I know that. Stop rubbing it in.
No, that's not the spelling.
68.
Oh, 68.
She's 68 years old. Because she was in these a lot, like 13 and when she started in the
Yeah.
industry.
It's illegal child labor.
Absolutely, it was.
It happened, obviously, in India, but it happened
It
in
happened
the United
here.
States a lot.
Yeah.
Famously, which is why you have such strict laws for kids
now.
in film.
Yeah, Jackie Coogan, who did the Charlie Chaplin films and a bunch of other things, is the reason we have Coogan laws that really became applicable just before I started working when I was 4. Prior to that, there were no. That's why we have a union.
And now they're just extremely strict.
Extremely
Kids can
strict
work
for
like
kids.
2 hours.
Yeah, if you're depending upon your age. So maximum workage for a child now on set, I believe, is 8 hours, but 3 of those hours must include school.
Yeah.
So you've only got them on the set for 5. If they're under school age, like babies, that's why
Hour,
they
2 hours tops.
they'll get twins a lot because they don't have the kids for enough time.
Judy Garland got
oh.
screwed up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Judy Garland. And
She was one of the most famous abuses of children in the industry ever.
Absolutely.
Michael's obviously another.
Michael was a by
That was
his
because of his
father.
dad.
father.
By his
Yes.
father.
But
That was
also,
his
he
dad.
probably wasn't treated very well by the industry either. So,
And who else? I'm trying to think. The only one that really touches my heart, and especially when Rekha was mentioning, it just reminded me of Michael Jackson and Judy Garland.
yeah, Judy's
Judy's a
very
heartbreaking
famous
story.
But a lot of even later, not as severe as Judy Garland, but like Macaulay Culkin.
Absolutely.
Anytime you have a kid, like Disney kid stars,
Amanda Bynes.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's not
Bynes.
it's not as severe as what Julie Garland went through because there was a lot more rules still.
Yeah.
But even still, it's better now than it was even in the 90s.
Well, even with the rules, it's still not normal. People ask me, how come you didn't get screwed up or dead? Because most child actors who get a level of fame, that screws them up, especially when they have parents that are looking for the money and the fame more than they are the love of the kid. So it's and I again would love to talk to her. The one thing that just kept hitting me when she was talking was just she seems so genuine. Like when she was being asked, when you were in relationships, what were you looking for? And her thought was looking for. I don't preconceive my
I'm a person.
ideas. I just simply go with what's in front of me and try to be as genuine with it as I can. What does that even mean? What was I looking for?
Yeah. It's, super strange.
Yeah.
Really interested in the Amitabh Bachchan answer.
I am too. I love that she said, "Is this about Amitabh Bachchan or me?"
Great answer.
It really
Great
is.
answer.
Really is.
Anyways, that was great. Please let us know. It was very reminiscent of the 90s. Like
Yeah.
the lighting, the ambiance.
Yeah, it felt like Barbara
What did
Walters,
you-
Oprah.
Everything's
right?
very serious.
very serious.
Anyways, let us know if there's other videos we can react to down below.
Juice!